What's up, guys? I am going to talk about all things carnivore lifestyle and the electrolytes that we need. One of the biggest questions that I had when I was starting this carnivore lifestyle was do you need to have electrolytes, like supplementation, for the entire rest of your life while you're doing carnivore, or can you eventually stop? So okay, starting the carnivore lifestyle, absolutely we need to supplement for electrolytes, right? So there's kind of like a transition period into this carnivore lifestyle, and for that period you gotta have the electrolytes because your body's changing and it's transitioning. But to answer the question of do you need electrolytes forever and always after you stop or do carnivore, do you need to just have this in your bag to just pour it in there every drink you take? No, you don't need to do that, and that is so great. But this is why we need electrolytes to start in the beginning. Because we're eating fewer carbs in our diet, or no carbs, if you're doing absolutely no carbs, we're basically holding on to a lot less sodium in our bodies, and our insulin levels are dropped down. So we're pretty much peeing out a lot of the electrolytes that our body would typically hold on to, because when you do eat more carbs, you're able to store that water and the electrolytes with it. So for anybody that's doing this carnivore thing, you might notice in the first week, you drop a shitload of weight, and a lot of that actually is water weight that you're releasing, that your body's holding on to. But that's kind of a sign of just what I'm explaining here is we're dropping so much liquid, so much damn liquid is coming out of us, and with that comes the sodium and all the electrolytes drops out of our body. So we do need to supplement a little bit, just a tiny little bit, with our electrolytes. And in this one, it's sodium, magnesium, potassium, and trace minerals from the Great Salt Lake, whatever. So I don't have an affiliate link for this or anything. This is just what I use. It's called Keto Chow. Okay. And what you want to do is pop in some electrolyte drops into the water you're drinking every single day when you're starting this transition. Okay, 0 calories, not that really matters, but use something like this because that's going to be key to having your body function as it should. Absolutely, you need electrolytes in this. If you don't have electrolytes, you are going to struggle. You could have gastrointestinal issues. For me, when I could tell that I was low on electrolytes, basically that feels like headaches or muscle cramping. I got super dizzy because I wasn't having enough, and you're just fatigued. You need electrolytes for our bodies to function properly. Again, to answer the question, you don't need electrolytes forever, definitely not. But for the first few months of becoming carnivore, you need those electrolytes in your body to be able to transition properly into this new lifestyle while your body is releasing so much more fluid and not holding on to as much because of the lack of carbs. You're also eating more protein, so with that, you're not going to be holding on to as much of the electrolytes as you typically would, because protein's offsetting what you normally would have had from carbs. So the 3 main electrolytes that I keep reading are the ones to go for. And guys, I'm learning with you on this, so if there's something that I say that you're I read something different, go ahead and drop it down below. But I've been doing a ton of research on this. I'm now a carnivore coach, learning, doing these experiments on myself, and I feel pretty confident about all this. But the recommended daily amount of magnesium is 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium to actually let your body feel good and normal. You don't really want to exceed that. You don't really need to supplement too much more than just a little bit of this for potassium. And for salt, I found that it's 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of salt a day is pretty solid. But I keep reading everywhere, and I've been experimenting too, that don't worry about your salt intake. Don't stress about it. It's not something that's really going to be that big of a deal. You just got to eat salt for taste and what tastes good, and that's going to kind of dictate how much your body needs, and that's where you should go with it. So to sum it all up, you guys, go ahead and get something like this Keto Chow. The sun is super bright. Whatever, you get the point. Get something like that. Make sure you're having your electrolytes for sure, for the first few months at least of doing this, understand that you don't need to be on electrolytes forever. Your body's simply transitioning and adapting. And just make sure that if you are feeling fatigue or dizziness or headaches or, you know, any of that kind of stuff, that's probably a sign that you're not getting enough electrolytes and that you need to like double down a little bit more on that, because your body needs it. And if you don't have that, it will ultimately be a failure, and that sucks. And none of us want to have that happen. So if you guys like this video, please do like it so other people who might need to see it can see it. If you are interested in living a life going carnivore, I am right now living my life doing that. Full disclosure, I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not a medical professional. I am somebody who is always looking for the best way to improve my life. And I have had eating disorders my whole life. I have had body dysmorphia issues. I've had just gut health issues, and I finally stumbled across carnivore. And for me, I really think I found the code for myself, but also for longevity and just an amazing lifestyle. And if you are interested in carnivore, I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about as far as all the science that's come out that's made a lot of sense as to why it's helping so many people in their lives and healing them from within. So if you are interested in learning more about this, I got you covered. I'm all over this. And if you do have any comments, any questions, anything you want to add, please drop it down below. I'm sure somebody else will want to see it, or message me on Insta. I'd always love to talk with everybody on there. And now the sun is slowly inching up the more I do this video, so I am going to call it quits now. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it as always. I'll see you on the next one. See ya.